Good evening, everybody. Thank you for inviting me for better education for Better Morocco, but better education for composite Morocco. I totally agree with Coach Satou. Just, I want to emphasize some points. I will be really brief because we deal with business matter. So I think there's 3 points or several points I can point out. First of all is the lack of adequacy between the educational background and the market, the job market. I would say, in my point of view, in transportation and logistics. For example, you can have some skills. We do interview rates, and we receive a lot of curriculums, and we really, it's so hard to make a selection. Because when you meet those people, young people, they are very young, they want to fulfill something, they want to win this graduation. But the problem is when you talk to them, there is a lack. Because the first point, the adequacy, as I told, is people heard about logistics and they said, logistics is a good market job, so I will do logistics. They are not convinced to do logistics. There is a master of logistics. They didn't take time to see which school, which university, which background had those teachers, and then they come and they fulfill and they succeed. And in interview rate, when you told them just a few questions, we don't need professional people because they're young, they start a new job, but you need to have some skills. You are looking for some skills. You are looking for this point that people, sometimes you are asking some questions, really elementary questions, you need an answer, there is no answer. This is the first point. I know that we have to coach them, we have to do team leading and everything, but we need a minimum of skills. When you find people with a minimum of skills, there's a lack of communication. People cannot communicate. If you have a key account manager, for example, I want to handle some customers, to do partnerships, you have to have a strong skills in communication. No communication. When you told them just to send an email, they have a problem to write an email. I'm telling you the truth. It's not really a gloomy outlook, but we have to be to say the truth. I think the things are changing because everybody is now that we have to succeed and we have to enhance our educational system. But we have to stop the think tanks, the brainstorming. We have to act. So we have to act. The second thing.
So, sorry not to interrupt, but just before you go to the next point, you mentioned a specific issue and some of the challenges that you face with employees from an educational standpoint. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
We are obliged now because in this field of transportation there's a lot of expertise. You don't need even top management, you need middle management. So you can invest in middle management, for example, some technicians, and then you coach them in order to how to say it, they can be able to handle the staff. And then you can push them for education. I think in terms, as Mr. Yunus said, it's question of knowledge. It's not education that when I fulfill, when I be graduate, I will stop learning. So we are trying to, how to say it, we are trying to cultivate in them some curiosity because people stop learning when they quit the school. It's not, this is stuff that we have to change because reading, learning, we start by reading. If you know to know something, to learn something, we start by reading. This is the point. People don't read. There are some huge statistics that in Morocco that I think that people take 1 minute. The average is 1 minute reading for each people. There's really huge. So we invest in technicians and then in our human resources management because in the middle, the heart of our how to say it, our work is the human resources. So we try to coach them and we put For Essential, for example, for instance, we've built a Tamil Supply Chain Center, which is a research and innovation center, in order to give to those people this opportunity to learn and to be good, to have good communication skills. I think there's a third point. Mr. Dr. Shatu talked about the women empowerment. I think that we need a family empowerment, because in terms of education, the families could subcontract the education. I knew when I was young and I was studying elementary school, my family was behind. My family pushed me to be curious, to read, to learn. I think that most of those families subcontract. They said that they go to the school, the high school, to university, then they will learn. No, I totally disagree about this, because you have to empower the family, because the learning starts in the family, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your relatives. So there's another point that we have to enhance, improve, and constitutionally, if it is possible to do. But we still rely on this orientation. You said about the English as a second language. I think that there is a new rule that no one can have a doctorate if he don't speak English. It's a first step. Then to have after.
Implemented?
Huh?
Is it implemented?
Yes, it's implemented since 1 month ago. So I think if we implement English as second,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.